Hey guys, I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake again, and I got an update. I'm like, okay, cool. I played the game a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't get an update then. And the week before that, and the week after that, basically within a week apart of playing the game, and I didn't get any update for. But today, of all days, I got an update. It turns out the update for the game happened to be 3 weeks ago, but I never got an update for some reason. And so I recently, like a couple of days ago, I got to Sephiroth in the final chapter of the game, and like I got no update until today. And then I look at what the update is, and the update essentially is to make the game not just easy, literally zero effort. At least I hate saying this part because the patch they did beforehand for making new game, like with basically God mode enabled essentially, like a ton of items, like a ton of gil, money, and like super like strong like everything. That was way more than they needed to do. Way more. At least you got to play the game and know a little bit of the combat structure. This new one, forget all that shit. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like the materia maxed out there, the AP triple that shit over there, infinite health, infinite MP, max damage. I'm like, do you want me to play the game or not? Like, what is this bullshit? And I'm like, are games like why would they even do that at all? Final Fantasy VII back then in the '90s had Game Genie, like a cheat shit to get shit passed. I'm like, all right, fine. If you want to like go through all that shit there to make the game easy, fine, go for it. But then like I think about this, right? So like this particular video, this short right there, talks about how games are easier nowadays, and it's intentional. And I'm like, shit, I think yeah, this right here, essentially saying that games are a lot easier now than it is back then. It's intentional that they don't want the games to be difficult. You already bought the game, you know what the difficulty is. The new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game, I don't consider that game particularly difficult because I played games like Ninja Gaiden, so I know what difficult really is, and Dark Souls. I know what difficult actually is. Those games are actually difficult in different kinds of ways. So Tears of the Kingdom is difficult because it has so much content spread far apart from one another that it feels like a big challenge for you to get through the shit. It's like a different kind of challenge. But the enemies themselves in the game aren't really that difficult in the game. The enemies in Souls games are difficult because they make you underpowered and they make the enemies overtuned, aka overpowered. The reason why in Ninja Gaiden you feel weak in the game is not because you're underpowered. You're not. It's because you don't know all the mechanics of the game to get around certain enemies. So like you do get more abilities in Ninja Gaiden over time, but you do not have everything you need to get past the later enemies in the game. But in the beginning part there, you don't know. And the enemies do know what you could do, and they take advantage of that shit. But then when you realize you can jump and spam the hardest slash on them, or guillotine them to a wall, or hold your attack more and like get the cooldown faster, use shurikens, all that shit's available in the beginning of the game, and it seems useless in the beginning of the game. But if you use all that stuff in the beginning of the game, yeah, it's a lot easier because you know all the mechanics of the game. The game's not going to hold your hand and say you can do this and do that. You need to learn that thing. And the game in Ninja Gaiden makes it so like, oh, you know everything. We're gonna kick your ass now. But most people who play Ninja Gaiden for the first time, they don't know all the mechanics of the game. Once you do learn the shit, like in the beginning part, it's a little easier. Which brings me back to this thing: the fact that you have a dip switch. The developers put in the game a dip switch. That's a term from way long ago in the arcades. A dip switch essentially is what game operators used so that people who run the stores can manipulate the game's difficulty level to get more money out of you. So if you're playing Street Fighter they have a dip switch in the game that the game store owner could operate and say, um, 2 quarters for the game, 1 quarter for the game, $1 for the game. Health goes like 100%, 125, 150%. This move does this much damage. 3 credits, 2 credits, that kind of stuff. And in modern settings, it's akin to uh, ha- half health, full MP, max MP, infinite MP, AP, shit like that, like run faster, text boxes go faster, that kind of stuff over there. Um, Special skills automatically done, that kind of stuff. Dip switches, things you can switch on and off that developers supposed to only have for themselves, so they can breeze through the game. But nowadays, no, 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 no. Uh, in Remake, for some reason, I don't know who or why they did this, but you can now have basically developer mode in the game. You don't need to do anything in the game. There's no effort in the game. Your infinite health, infinite attack, infinite MP for magic spells. You don't need to build your materia anymore because that's already done for you, and it does not affect your trophies at all. It's just done. So I'm like, holy shit! And then I see this guy talking about how games are easier nowadays, and I'm like, you're not wrong. The thing is like with Silk Song, right? Silk Song Hollow Knight. Mainly Silk Song because I didn't really feel that game that much after waiting all that time. Uh, there's like virtually no map in the beginning of the game, but there's no excuse for that. In Castlevania games, there's usually a map to let you know where you came from and where you can or cannot go to. In Silk Song, you don't get that. You eventually do, but you gotta go like go through some bullshit to find this shit over there, and it's necessarily for your section that you're in right now when you get the map. I'm like, oh my god, I'm out of here. I couldn't take it anymore. So many games either nowadays, personally, either piss me off on how unprofessional they are. They either don't want you to play the game and have fun, or it's way too easy where it's like a breeze and you can play the game blindfold like Devil May Cry 2. It's either Devil May Cry 1 or Devil May Cry 2 nowadays. Devil May Cry 3 is perfect balance in between, and virtually no game does that anymore, even though it's the best one. And I'm like, holy shit, there's so many games nowadays that don't know how to do it correctly. I'm gonna like Metaphor Refund Salzio, too hard. The boss and the boss are sponges for health. I'm like, dude, and they can kill you really easily in that game. Persona 4 for the Persona 5 Royale, perfect in every way. If you're playing the game correctly, you can breeze through the battles. But if you mess up, like and you get the wrong order, you're gonna pay for it. In Refantazio, you're the boss of sponges, so even though you know the mechanics of the game, it doesn't matter. It's so weird in that game, bro. It's so fucking weird. There's mega bosses near the end of the game that open up when you get to a certain point, obviously, and that those bosses will do certain status ailments to you. But if you know that beforehand, like read a book or go online or whatever, if you know the status that they'll do to your team, the boss will one shot kill you. I'm not kidding. Is there a way to come back from that one? I think there is, but I ultimately think there's not. And I don't know whether or not the enemy's gonna like get another turn and do it again. I don't fucking know. So either the status he does to you is something you don't want. You can have it for every single character in your party that like a confusion spell, and if you bring something like that in the battle, he'll automatically kill you. So all the way up there to fight the boss, he sees that you have that thing on you, auto kill. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And it's not that boss either. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, I want to have fun, but I don't want it to be like a long time battle, and I don't want it to be a breeze either. And only like virtually every game nowadays has a difficulty setting to choose from, where normal is too easy and hard is too fucking hard. Jesus Christ, they don't want you to make up your mind anymore. Ugh, I don't know, man. This generation. I don't know. I can't think. I know the God of War remakes are gonna fucking suck balls because They're gonna cut out the sex scene. It's that simple. Maybe they're gonna make the graphics better and stuff like that, but they gotta just this generation just they can't just leave shit alone. They can't do it. They gotta put their own bullshit in there. It's either too easy or too hard because they can't make a decision on whether to make it just right in the middle. Like in what's that game? Catherine, Full Body, that the puzzle game and stuff like that. When you're going up the ladder, there's no difficulty ladder. There's like a thing where it's like you can go to easy mode and make it the puzzles like do themselves, some shit like that. But in the beginning of the game, you don't have that ability. It's like once you fail and die, then they get the option to do that, which is fine. Like I think Sega games, like Yakuza games nowadays, they do that if you die 20 times, they give you the option to play it on easy. I'm like, that's something. There's no difficulty you put in the beginning of the game. Later on, you could do that after you beat the game, but there's so much shit nowadays. No one's listening to this shit anyway. That's it for now. Clack off.